What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the JuiceBox, presented by Lock City. It's Whitey here today. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's still having a good week and finally ready to resume some Blast Bounty Malta action. The draft for the quarterfinals just concluded, and thus today we have episode 178 of the JuiceBox. It's going to be everything that you need to know for all four of the quarterfinal matchups, taking place both tomorrow, Thursday, August 14th, as well as Friday, August 15th at Malta Arena Studios in, of course, Malta. But before we get into the matches, just a quick reminder, of course, you can join our free tier Discord at discord.gg/lockcity, like you see at the bottom of the screen here. This gets you access to every cheat sheet every day across all active major sports, access to picks from all 9 of our pro cappers, and tons of other sports-specific and stat-specific data points on a daily basis to help you become a better sports bettor. We drop most of our content on our main Twitter account, which is going to be @_LockCity, but you can also join that free Discord group, gets you access to everything first, plus in Discord you're getting access to every cheat sheet every day, whereas on Twitter we're just mixing and matching, dropping a couple each day, aside from, of course, Free Sheet Friday, where we drop everything that we drop in the free Discord. So without further ado, we'll kind of just get into it for today. We have set up for the quarterfinals here, obviously the 8 teams that made it in, we'll quickly review. That's going to be Team Vitality, MOUZ, Team Spirit, the MongolZ, Aurora Gaming, Virtus.pro, Astralis, and Team Liquid. So the way that the playoffs more or less are set up, it's going to be a single elimination style bracket, obviously, so as soon as you lose, you go home. The quarterfinals and semifinals are both going to be best of 3s, and then the grand final is going to be a best of 5. Total prize pool, okay, so 480 awarded to these 8 remaining teams. I was going to say I saw 500,000 elsewhere, but that must just be the 480 amongst these 4 participants, and then $20,000 awarded elsewhere, and then bounties, obviously, in accordance with that. I actually don't have the remaining bounties on the board, but they're all like 30,000-ish or higher. Obviously, the big ones on the board, the $60,000 bounties and up, are going to be Vitality, MOUZ, Spirit, and MongolZ. Those teams have the biggest bounties and have been the top seeds all tournament. They started with the $60,000 bounties. So in terms of what we're looking at for matchups, we'll actually just slide over to HLTV here so we can see it in terms of how it is set up. Firstly, for tomorrow, so we're going to have 2 each day. We're going to have 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. The first 2 for tomorrow are going to be MOUZ and Astralis, and then MongolZ and Aurora. So in my time zone, that's 10 a.m. Eastern time and 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then Friday, exact same times, we're going to have Vitality and Liquid, and then we're going to have Spirit and Virtus.pro. So the first 2 that we will talk about here are going to be MOUZ and Astralis, and then MongolZ and Aurora. First up, obviously, MOUZ and Astralis, 10 a.m. Eastern time. This one here is going to be tough. All of these tomorrow, or both of these tomorrow, rather, are honestly pretty tough for me. I had a hard time kind of coming to consensus with some picks here. So I'll let you guys know kind of what I'm leaning for each matchup as we dive into them. And then at the end, I'll show you what I have built so far on Thunderpick. And then obviously join the Discord at the bottom. We'll be dropping plays throughout the day. But I will show you all what I am set up with so far here. So firstly, I do think this is going to be competitive. Public consensus is nearly 64% Astralis, which is probably a little bit high. There's a lot of diehard Astralis fans in here. We have to remember MOUZ is still a top 3 team in the world, top 2 as of present, but probably 3 behind Spirit, in all honesty. Taking a look down here at what we have for map pool, I do think Astralis could obviously win Nuke. If we wanted to zoom in a little bit further, so the last 2 times that these teams saw each other, one was this year, mind you, 6 months ago at Cluj-Napoca, and then the other was on Halloween of last year at the Blast Premier World Final. But in both instances, Astralis managed to win Nuke. Astralis does have a strong Nuke. They play Nuke often. MOUZ, it is one of the weaker maps in their map pool. Obviously, when you're looking at the teams that they're playing on it, for the most part, they're stronger, but they do have a very bad loss here to Liquid, and they have a pretty bad loss here to OG. So they're definitely beatable on Nuke. When we look at Astralis on Nuke, I would say that Astralis' Nuke is better than both of those teams that managed to beat MOUZ previously. So I do think that that is winnable for Astralis. I do think Astralis plus 1.5 is not a horrible bet here. Could they win a second map? Maybe. I don't think that we necessarily see Ancient drawn as well. I think that'll be one of the bans on the MOUZ side of things. So I don't think Astralis is going to get lucky in that regard. it's most likely going to have to be either Mirage or Inferno if Astralis is going to pick up a second map win there. I don't see that happening. I do lean MOUZ on the money line, but Astralis plus 1.5, not a bad bet. I think the over for the first map, because that's going to be Astralis' map pick, again, should be Nuke. They could maybe pick Ancient, but because they've already beaten MOUZ twice on Nuke, they would be stupid not to take Nuke. And both of those times on Nuke, we saw it go over 20.5 total rounds. We saw 21 and we saw 22. So I would feel comfortable taking like an over 20.5 total rounds for map 1. Potentially the same thing for map 2. This Cluj-Napoca result on Ancient does scare me. But all in all, I do think this should be relatively close. I do think MOUZ squeaks it out. I do think Astralis probably wins Nuke. And I do think map 1 goes over 20.5 total rounds. We'll move on to the next one. That's going to be MongolZ and Aurora, 1 p.m. Eastern time. This one here, public is pretty heavy on Aurora. This one's really tough, I'm going to be honest. When I first looked at it, I liked Aurora because I like that Aurora has this win in May at PGL Astana. That was since avenged at IEM Dallas when MongolZ took down Aurora 2-0. Here, Anubis obviously irrelevant, no longer in the map pool, so this Anubis win that Aurora had, and then there the Anubis win that MongolZ had, followed up by the one that Aurora had. Both neither relevant. They've played a ton on Anubis, but again, no longer in the map pool here. I do think that Aurora could win Inferno. Aurora's got a really strong Inferno, and MongolZ has a really weak Inferno. So all in all, I think that's what Aurora was looking at when they were taking MongolZ. When we looked at the draft for this quarterfinal, Aurora had the first pick. So Aurora went straight out and took MongolZ right away. There's a reason behind that. I think they're going to be taking Inferno here. I think that they see the clear advantage. And then on the MongolZ side of things, they should probably take either Nuke or Mirage. If they take Dust 2, it could be dangerous. We could see 2-0 Aurora. But I do like Aurora to win map 1. I do like Aurora to win Inferno, presumably if that's what they take for map 1. Aurora plus 1.5. Again, I do lean the favorite on the money line like I did in the last match with MOUZ. On this one, I do again lean MongolZ on the money line, but I would not be surprised at all if Aurora won this. It's not something I'm going to be playing on the money line. Probably some overs and unders in terms of maps. And then I do like Aurora plus 1.5 map spread, or Aurora just like a map 1 money line, or Aurora map 1 plus X number of rounds insert here, like we have on the CS2 best bets cheat sheet. So I feel really good about that. I do think Aurora will take Inferno, and I do think they will win Inferno. Aside from that, may the best team win, and I kind of hope it's MongolZ, but we'll see what ends up happening. The next two, which are going to be on Friday, but we'll still cover them today just because we can. So we may as well, and we'll make one long parlay that covers all 4 games that I have cooked up there. And then I do have a 2-leg parlay for the Friday games as of now. And then, of course, we'll have more in the Discord once Friday comes. So scrolling down, the first one here at 10 a.m. is just going to be an abomination. This is Vitality and Liquid. Vitality being at 67% is comical. This is gross. This should just be 2-0. There's nothing. So Vitality is going to ban Ancient here. I think Vitality would win Overpass, but Liquid's going to ban Overpass anyway, so it doesn't matter. The 5 remaining maps, we're going to have Dust 2, Mirage, Inferno, Nuke, and Train. Vitality is going to win all 5 of those maps. It doesn't matter what they pick here. When we look at what's happened recently at Melbourne, so this is going way back to April, but at Melbourne, 13-8 and 13-5 on Nuke and Mirage respectively. Dust 2 and Anubis in ESL Pro League Season 21. Blast Premier World Final. We saw Vitality win, but that's going back last year. Different rosters, not really relevant. But for whatever reason, that one went 2-1, so kudos to Liquid there. But Vitality's winning this. It's going to be just Vitality minus 1.5 as a best bet. I'm going to use that probably as an anchor play. There's not a single map that Liquid is going to end up being successful here on. Liquid did not have a pick they were just assigned the last remaining team in the draft today, so whoever was left over they got left with. It was Vitality. They didn't sound too optimistic. It was Shui there that was there to represent the team. He basically said they're using this match to see how they match up against top teams in the world, to use it as some sort of material to look back on in the future. So That doesn't make me overly optimistic on their mindset, on top of them obviously being the weaker team. So give me Vitality here, -1.5 map spread. We'll just keep it plain and simple. I really like that Vitality to win their map pick. Take them by 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever you think. They should absolutely crush Liquid here. The last one is going to be Spirit and Virtus.pro. This one I think could be pretty interesting. Scrolling down, so public consensus, 30% Virtus.pro. Sure, I think that's probably semi-realistic. I do think the odds here are a little bit skewed. I do think Spirit wins, just because I'm a Spirit fan. The one obvious thing in terms of shakeups here, so presumably Spirit's not going to have Zontix anymore. They've announced that they're signing Tanir, so logically speaking, looking at their roster, the replacement piece here is going to unfortunately be Zontix, unfortunately for Zontix. I do think that Spirit's going to end up stronger here. I do think that Zontix performs well. He's got a level head. He's got a good mindset. He's not just going to come out here and not perform because he's likely moving teams here. So I think he'll put on a good performance. He's going to need to. He's going to need to put on to show to other teams what he's capable of and what he continues to be capable of. Obviously, Spirit's coming off of the IEM Cologne win. I don't think they're going to lose here in the first round. I don't think that they'll end up winning this tournament. I think it's probably a Vitality tournament, knowing that Spirit has this roster change coming up. But I don't think Spirit loses the first round here. I think it'll be pretty straightforward. So Spirit on the money line. I think in terms of what could be exciting here, so Spirit obviously bans Inferno. Virtus.pro bans Nuke. Spirit on Overpass, we've only seen them play it once, but they did look really, really great on it. They looked really comfortable. On the Virtus.pro side of things, we've seen them play Overpass a lot. Virtus.pro, back when Overpass was in the map pool like a year and a half ago, whenever it was, they were one of my favorite teams to watch on Overpass. That continues to be the case. I love both of these teams on Overpass. I really hope that we get to see it tomorrow. Chances are that we will. It's Virtus.pro's strongest map as of right now. It's their go-to as of right now. Chances are that we will see it. Spirit's also, like I said, very strong on it, so that'll be very competitive. On the Spirit side of things, probably Ancient, maybe Dust 2. They could really take whatever they want here. I doubt that we see Train. It'll probably just be Dust 2 or Ancient, but regardless of whichever of those two the Spirit takes, I think they end up winning it. So like a Spirit map 2 money line, I assume they'll end up getting map 2, but if you want to wait closer to live, because Spirit is one of the teams that likes to switch it up, sometimes they do go map 1. But whatever Spirit takes for their map, I think they end up winning that. And then on the Virtus.pro side of things, whatever Virtus.pro takes for their map, so if they take map 1 as the underdog, presumably, I like Virtus.pro and Spirit to go over like 19.5, 20.5 total rounds for map 1. I think it'll be nice and close on Overpass. Both of these teams are strong. So now we will hop over to Thunderpick. Obviously, for all of the odds discussed in today's video and every video that we do for CS, we use Thunderpick.io. It's one of the top books in the world for esports betting. You can deposit on it using crypto, credit card, Apple Pay, or Visa debit. And Thunderpick has lines for all of your favorite esports, including but not limited to CS2, League, Dota, Valorant, Overwatch, COD, Fortnite, Rocket League, and so much more. If you visit tinyurl.com/lcthunder, we have our own short link for the promotion. You will get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit all the way up to $600. So any amount that you deposit up to $600 will get immediately matched by Thunderpick for you to be able to use for your esports picks. We've been super profitable obviously on CS2, but with a deposit bonus, you can always try your luck on some of your other favorites with that free money to play with. That's tinyurl.com/lcthunder for a 100% deposit bonus at Thunderpick all the way up to $600. So without further ado, let's get into some parlays here. So I cooked up 3 in advance of the Thursday and Friday slate. The first one that we'll talk about here will just be what's going on for tomorrow. So I'm going to take Astralis and MOUZ, map 1, over 20.5 total rounds. Both of them should be close. Map 1, again, should be Astralis's pick. I think Astralis has been strong on Nuke there. We've seen what they've done recently. So give me Astralis, map 1, over 20.5 total rounds. Next one up is going to be Aurora and MongolZ. I'm going to take MongolZ, map 2, plus 2.5 round handicap. I think whatever MongolZ ends up taking for their pick on the Aurora side of things, it could get sketchy. I think Aurora has some advantageous maps in the pool, obviously, namely the one that we went over. But on the MongolZ side of things, whatever they take for their map pick, I think should be competitive. Could they lose it? Yes. If they lose it, I think it's going to be close, like a 13-11 or like a 16-14 overtime loss. I think it's going to be competitive. More likely than not, MongolZ wins their map pick. But to buy us a little bit of a buffer, I'm going to go MongolZ plus 2.5 round spread. So they can lose 13-11. They can lose 16-14 in overtime. They just can't lose by more than 3 rounds. So we're going to parlay those two for tomorrow. Put 2 units on it. That's going to pay us 4.59 units. Really like that play for tomorrow. And then the second one for Friday is going to be Vitality minus 1.5 map spread. No way in the world that Vitality drops a map to Liquid. And then the second one, I'm assuming that Virtus.pro is going to get the first map here, and it's going to be Overpass. If for whatever reason the first map is not Overpass, I will probably cash this out and just take whatever extra bonus I have off of the Vitality cash in the morning. Because if it's not Overpass, if Spirit gets the first map and it's Ancient or something else like Dust 2, it could go very lopsided. But assuming it's Virtus.pro and assuming Virtus.pro takes Overpass, which should be the case, I really like over 19.5. Both of these teams have a very good Overpass. I think this will be a competitive first map. 1.48 times our money on that as well. So that's going to bring us 2.19 times our money on 2 units. That pays us 4.38 roughly units. So I really like that one for Friday. And then kind of a across the board, I threw 3 together. I avoided the Spirit match just because I wanted to stick on the moneyline theme, and Spirit moneyline wasn't good value, and Virtus.pro can be sneaky. So what I ended up going with here is just going to be Astralis plus 1.5 map spread. So we need them to win at least a map against MOUZ. I think they will do so. Aurora to win map 1 against MongolZ. Again, so we'll zoom over here just briefly for everybody. So Aurora and MongolZ, map 1, I'm assuming is going to be Inferno. Aurora's got a much better Inferno than MongolZ. I think they can steal map 1. And then, of course, our anchor, Vitality, minus 1.5 map spread. If they lose a map to Liquid, I will just be in shambles for these 2 plays, but more so just in shambles for them. The plays, neither here nor there, will end up making it back. But it'll suck that we anchored both of them on Vitality, and it'll suck for Vitality because that'll be a huge stain on their legacy of where they are currently if they even drop a map to Liquid. So it should just be an absolute blowout. I love all 3 of these. I look forward to cashing all 3 of these, and we will see y'all on, I guess, Friday afternoon probably. Whenever we get our semifinal matchups, they're doing another draft. So if we go back over here, the teams are going to be reseeded between rounds based on the opponent that they beat in the previous round, and then the lower seeded teams choose their opponents from the higher seeded teams. So the seedings that we have in accordance are going to be here. So depending on which teams end up moving on, the lower seeded teams then draw from the higher seeded teams for the semifinals. So we will have to wait and see. It's not just straightforward in terms of bracket like we see here. They will get reshuffled based on their seedings. So we will have to wait until Friday afternoon, see who's playing who, and then we'll hop into another video then. But look forward to catching over the next couple days with y'all. Give us a like, a subscribe on the video if you like what you're hearing. In the comment section, let me know what you're ending up playing, who your favorite team is remaining. If you want to do an early prediction of who's going to win this tournament, I would love to know in the comments here. Let's get a little competition going and see which team has the strongest fan base in terms of representation here. And then look forward to seeing y'all back here, obviously, on Friday afternoon for some continued cash. So have a great next couple of days. Look forward to cashing with y'all. See y'all in the server. Take care and peace.